we present to you all Meeting of the Minds, our Women's History Month panel. I want to let all of our panelists tell you a little bit about themselves, but here to my right, we have our lovely moderator, Leanne Taylor. She's going to be holding it down for us, so I'll just let her get into it.
Awesome sauce. Hey, what's up, you guys? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get some energy. We got all these fine ladies up here today. Again, I just want to thank Naya, Drew, Selden Market today for having us for the second installment of Meeting of the Minds. Again, my name is Leanne Taylor. I go by the Antique Soul. I'm a local entrepreneur and, all-around dope chick from Newport News, Virginia. So I'm here to moderate and kick it with you ladies today and talk about some really awesome things. So we're going to go ahead, pass the mic on right now. You have mics at your tables. So if you don't mind just telling us a little bit about yourselves, your name, what you do.
Sure. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jemilyn Brown. I am originally from Harrisburg, Maryland, but have called Hampton Roads home for the past 11 years. I serve as the Director of Communications for the American Heart Association Hampton Roads. I'm a published author, and I'm also the CEO and founder of the JP Agency, where we specialize in PR, marketing, community development, and events for clientele such as entertainers and athletes and public figures. In my years of work, I have led the second longest football camp here in the state of Virginia, hosting annual events for Coach Mike Tomlin of the Steelers, as well as working for Councilman Aaron Rouse as his Director of Community Development. So super excited to be here and be amongst all these great ladies today.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Walters, and I am a TV host personality. I often co-host the Hampton Roads Show. I'm also the director of engagement for a nonprofit called Yellow, and we just opened our first school in Norfolk this year called Yellow Hab. Never thought I'd be a part of opening a school, which is the craziest thing you could ever do, but we did it. I also own a media production company called the Riddellin Group, and we specialize in TV commercials, TV production, documentaries, and films. And like Jalen said, happy to be here with all these other ladies.
Hi, everybody. My name is Essence. I am the owner of Essential Grills and Essential Studios. So I actually started out as just a orthodontic assistant doing braces at Cool Smiles for 6 years, and I stepped out and started doing teeth whitening in my living room and turned it into a 6-figure business. And now I have a store in Norfolk and a store in Richmond. I opened up a music studio because I noticed all of my customers that was getting gold grills were in the music business. So I opened up a music studio in Norfolk as well. So I'm 30, I'm a mom, and I'm just here trying to open up businesses all around 757 and beyond.
Hello, everyone. Know me as Jimmy from Instagram. My initial is JYM. I've always lived in the Norfolk, Virginia area. I'm a regional sales rep for the brand Cult of Individuality. I've worked for various streetwear brands as a brand representative. I also throw events in the area. The name of my events company is Virgin Grooves. All the events are tied to charitable causes. So we've done things for safe sex awareness. We've done events for food drives and various things in the community. And then also I just opened my new studio, Free Reign Studios. And the main objective of my studio is to create space and time and opportunity for people to give them guidance and share space with each other, and not good at public speaking, guys. I was doing pretty good. Thank you. Very thankful to be here and put myself in an opportunity to grow and create more for others. So that's what I'm here for.
Got that one. So, hello everybody. My name is Andrea Mcclellan, and I'm just honored to be up here with these amazingly smart and beautiful women. I don't know how I made the cut. At any rate, so I serve on the Norfolk City Council. I was elected in 2016, although I was raised in Virginia Beach. I'm a Green Run stallion by background. Went off to college. I ran 2 small companies. I worked for 2 Fortune 500 companies before we moved back here. Now I have 3 boys who are 23, 20, and 17. And they won't believe that I was up here with all of you ladies. And today is my 52nd birthday, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm Tamiya Davis. I am an international longshoreman, first of all. I've been there for 22 years. I love my job. But I am a serial entrepreneur. I own a company called TD Capital Construction. I buy land in the Hampton Roads area, and I build new construction homes and sell them. I'm also a best-selling author of my memoir called From Fatal to Fierce. I released my book in 2019 of July, and 2019 of November, at Essence Festival too. But in 2019 of November, it became a bestseller. It's about my life. I've been through 30 surgeries. They said I would never walk again. I would never be able to, nothing pretty much. They told my parents I was dead 3 times. And if I lived, I would be a vegetable. But we can see that that's not true because God says different. I'm a graduate of Old Dominion University. I do so much, I gotta think. Okay, and also, I've just dabbled into, oh gosh, what is it? I can't think of the name. My brain just, no, help me. This concert, I just, promoter, I guess it's called. I just dabbled into that. About a month ago, I woke up and said I wanted to do a concert, me, being me, and I booked Jeezy, and I brought him to the Nova, and it sold out. And that was me. Yeah, so, entrepreneurship it's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's very well worth it. I'm a firm believer that your boss will never pay you to live in his neighborhood. So you have to go out there and get it and do what you got to do for yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jemilyn Hewlett, and I am the founder of We Care. I started We Care in 2011 with We Care Medical Transport. I was working at the medical school, and I remember telling a friend of mine that I wanted to start my own business. The first thing I told her was I wanted to start a transportation company. It was a non-emergency medical transportation company. And the first thing she said was, okay, you don't have no experience, no degree, you don't have no money because you just asked me for $5 last week, and your credit tore up. So the first thing I thought about was I talk too much. But my answer to her back was, if the business didn't work out, I guess I'll just go back to being broke. And I proceeded. So I left the medical school making $24,000 a year, okay? Once I left there, I started my first wheelchair van. I started my first wheelchair van with medical transportation. By the end of the year, I had a fleet of 15, okay? From there, I started a group home. I had 2 group homes from 2013 to 2014. I expanded. I added supportive in-home services, which is where we work with individuals with developmental disabilities. We have a corporate office here in Virginia Beach, and we have an office in Richmond. I added We Care Salon and Spa. The reason for that was because I wanted to provide spa services to individuals with disabilities. So I don't do hair or nails, but I do run a salon. We Care Salon Cafe, I added that. That came about because when I walked in the salon, everybody was asking for food. We had people coming in there selling food. And I said, do y'all need your own cafe? They was like, yes. So that's how We Care Salon Cafe came about. We added that service. So in the cafe, we provide free delivery to other barbershops and hair salons as long as they're within the 4-mile radius of the cafe. That was something that really turned out good because we was getting the service from our salon, our customers, the stylists, the nail techs, as well as people coming into the cafe. So after that, I opened up We Care Juice Bar. I'm glad I'm last, y'all. Sorry. We Care Juice Bar came about in 2019, right before the COVID. I opened that over there on Laskin Road. Once the COVID hit, we recently just moved it to the Timberlake Shopping Center. So We Care Juice Bar should be up and running in probably about another month. We're going through construction. And then last, I opened up Poolside Cooking. Now, Poolside Cooking is a cooking show that airs on Channel Sky 4 here in Virginia. We're on Peachtree TV in Atlanta. We're on Roku worldwide, and we're getting ready to air in Richmond on April 3rd. That was basically a cooking show that started during the pandemic. Once I was closing some of my businesses down, which was the salon, cafe, and the juice bar during the COVID. The only thing at the time was running that was my group home and in-home services. So I added a cooking show. So everybody was looking at wanting to work from home. I had an in-ground pool. I had an outdoor kitchen. I don't cook, so I had to bring different chefs on board. And it turned into a cooking show. The show aired. We're now literally on Roku. We're worldwide. We have a couple big networks that's looking at the show. And basically, the show was actually put together just from the community. We brought different businesses owners up there. We have different chefs. The platform was very simple. I mean, we created a platform right here for different artists to come on the show. So it was more than just a cooking show. It was a variety show. We had politicians up there. We had Andrea up there. We actually had the governor up there. You know, so it definitely was a platform. We brought different artists. Anybody that was doing something in the community, we had them up there. Like our Pharrell was the business owners that you see every day, was that nonprofit organizations that was doing things in the community. So we definitely wanted to create a platform right here in this area. So basically that's it. Okay, that's our businesses I started. So you can see I'm tired.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing so much about you, ladies. Let's give them a round of applause for all the hats that they wear, okay? So kind of building off that, if you ladies can just tell us, like, what does support look like to you, and touching on how it's important to have the right people in your corner, both professionally and personally, especially with making some of these kind of radical decisions, you know, leaving orthodontics to go ahead and start your own business, or leaving a Fortune 500 company to decide that you want to do politics. So if you don't mind just kind of expanding on that, anybody can go.
Support for me is being able to pick up that phone when I need to vent. Literally on the way here, I had to call my best friend, like, girl, I need 5 minutes. I need to vent. I need some motivation. Just with everything going on with my businesses, with my employees, with trying to be in Norfolk and Richmond all throughout the week, it gets hard, but just being there to motivate me. Social media, sharing my stuff, you know, word of mouth is so important with small businesses. So just mentioning my name in rooms like this, you know, is important to me. Just being there when I need you. It's not even monetary, you know, just being there for me in any way you can shows me that you support me.
I would say, if you're ever going to run for office, you better have your whole family invested in you. You can't have a partner at home saying, or kids at home being a pain. Your employer needs to be all in. It's really important because it's a really hard thing to do. So I would say that's definitely number one. I'm reading a book right now because I'm old and I'm thinking about the next stage of my life. And they talk about the difference between deal friends and real friends. And that really captured something with me because I've got a lot of acquaintances, a lot of people I call friends in the 757, but a lot of them are because of what I do and where I am and the boards I sit on. But it's those real friends that you can call in the middle of the night that you might not have talked to for 6 months, but you know they're always going to be there for you. And I think that we oftentimes forget about that, and we're not cultivating those real friends as much as we need to be. And we're focusing only on those deal friends. So I would just recommend that just think about that as you go home today and maybe reach out to that person you haven't talked to in 6 months just to say hi.
I think for me, I agree with everything both of these ladies said, but support also looks like really, really supporting people before they blow up. Like, I think a lot of times people wait until you've made, you know, your million and you're on the red carpets and you're at the Oscars and doing all these things. But it's like, okay, where were you when I was right here in Norfolk sitting on a panel talking to people? So I think support is always showing up at every single stage of your journey and being able to, you know, challenge you and have those real friends to call you out on your stuff, but also like keep that encouragement going. So just supporting your friends and your people every single step of the way, not just when they make it. That's what support means to me.
And I have to agree with Stephanie when she says showing up, because
to me, support is showing up, but it's also giving space. Because as an entrepreneur, you know, you have so many things going on all of the time, especially if you're one who juggles having a full-time job in corporate as well. So not having friends who are like, well, I haven't talked to you and you don't answer my calls, and it's not personal. It's really not personal. It's I have my best creative juices flowing at night, so I'm not watching the same show. Or I've got something going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So on Saturday, I actually want to take a nap. But giving space is just important to me as showing up.
Support too is. I'm gonna piggyback off of you too, Stephanie. But support is also it's yourself. You have to believe in yourself. I could tell y'all so many times I've told friends or family my dreams or what I thought I was gonna do, and they looked at me like I was crazy, and it worked. Okay, it may not have worked when I wanted it to, but it worked. For example, I also manage Coco of SWV, if y'all familiar with that group. And I opened up a store about 12 years ago in Lynn Haven Mall, one of my dreams. I walked in the mall to shop. I couldn't find any jewelry. So I opened up a women's jewelry boutique. She was a shopper there. My employees at the time were like, the girl, the lead singer of SWV keeps coming to the kiosk and shopping. And I'm like, really? Yeah, you know. So I was like, well, next time she come, give her, like Essence said, I said, give her a package. Whatever she pick out, just let her have it. All we asking her to do is to post it. Like Essence said, you know, that social media is very powerful. So she posted it. I went to go close the store down a couple months later, y'all. As I said, I'm a longshoreman. So getting employees is hard to work. So I had to shut it down because longshoreman's my money. But what happened out of my dream, get this, y'all. What happened out of that, I met a friend, which is Coco. When she found out I was shutting down, she reached out to me on Facebook and said, hey, I really love your stuff. Can you please, she said, we just got nominated for a Grammy, and I want to know if you can dress us with your jewelry. When I read the email, I was like, what? Like, what? Why she want me? You know, because we do that to ourselves. Why they want me? Like, what can I do for you? Yeah, it's been 12 years. We are best friends, and I run the show. You know what I mean? Like, things happen. So by me opening up that kiosk, it turned into something else. I end up doing the Grammys, and from there, I've done Love and Hip Hop. I've done R&B divas. I mean, I work for Yo-Yo. I work for MC Light. Like, just that one door of me believing in myself, you know, just opened up so many more doors. So the support, it always begins with you. It always, each one of us ladies sitting up here, like, it really begins with yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself in the mirror. And that's the person that you really got to deal with. That's the person that's going to tell you the truth, you know? So
I definitely agree with what you just said, because I can tell you what support is not. It is not consistent validation. When you are doing something unconventional, your dream, your passion, 9 times out of 10, people are not going to see it. You have to be able to see the unseen. That's how most people work off. If they haven't seen it, they cannot believe it. And if you're always constantly going to people who are close to you, to the internet, to others to validate your ideas, it does nothing but slow you down and stops you from what can turn into the biggest change of your life. So that's what I can tell you. And then also what it is to me is active listening and showing up. You guys look like support. You are support. Thank you.
That's dope. Oh yeah, go
Do
ahead.
you want me to talk about it?
You wanna? Yeah, for real.
No, one more, y'all.
Yeah, no.
Mine'll be small and simple. Well, I do always hear that my friends and family don't never support. I always hear that all the time. Me personally, I tell people, you know, focus on the plan, focus on the business, and the support will come. Okay, stop focusing too much on what people you feel, which is your friends or family that's not supporting you. If you focus on the business, focus on the plan, the support will come, and they usually come from strangers. Okay? Learn to be your own self-motivator. Believe in yourself. You know, that's the key right now. Believe in yourself, and the support from him above and yourself, it will come.
Awesome. So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but talk about kind of the shift or that turning point that aligned you with like your passion and your purpose. What was the thing that kind of clicked? Let's start with Jalen.
Thinking about the shift, I think it really began when years ago, while I was still in school at Hampton, I realized that I didn't want to do what I thought I wanted to do. I was hosting the basketball games. I was always in front of the camera, and I interned with the MEAC. I worked in athletic marketing, and so I started sitting in on meetings with sponsors and, you know, different community leaders and partners, and I got really, really good at it. And so I started working with a lot of the athletes that are, you know, from this area, doing their camps, working for their nonprofits, and at some point I realized, okay, all of these people are referring me to their friends and to their friends of friends, but I'm working for them. I've got all the contacts. Right. I need to be working for me. And so when I decided that I was going to do that and run with it, my close friends and family were like, oh, well, why don't you, work for somebody else first? Why don't you get a little bit more under your belt? But I was confident. I was like, I know what I'm doing. I've done it well. They wouldn't be referring me if I wasn't doing it well. And I just kept going. And it speaks to believing in yourself. It speaks to having a lot of self-confidence. And for me, I think that was the shift. It was really early on, but I was committed. And with commitment and consistency, you can do anything.
I think the shift for me came when I lost a contest. It was just as simple as that. I went to Hampton University as well, came out of college, started working in TV. I'm not sure if any of you have ever worked in TV, but starting off, you're making like $16,000 a year, and that's like almost full time, depending on what market you're going to. And I was just like, I can't sustain this, got kind of a part-time job. And so I applied to, I don't know if y'all remember the Face of Fox contest. Y'all remember that? And so I did that contest in 2009, the year after I came out of college, and I made it to the top 5. I was like, oh, I'm going to win. I got this. And I lost. And I was devastated. I was just like, how did I lose? I lost to, and actually somebody who was my classmate in college. So it was cool, but I was still upset. That was a shift for me because I was like, you know what? I'm so busy trying to get on other platforms when I can just create my own thing. And so from there, I created my own TV show called Montage. It was a lifestyle show and ended up getting on different public access markets in California, New York, Atlanta. And from there, I was like, okay, I got to keep betting on myself. But had I not lost that contest, I never would have betted on myself. And from there, because I continuously was doing my thing, the producers were still watching me from the show, and now I end up getting paid to come back now and co-host the show. So you have to look at kind of, what can be a temporary loss as a long-term game. And that was a big shift for me. And also knowing that you can occupy spaces in more than one arena. And so, like I said, I am the director of engagement for a nonprofit called Yellow, which is Pharrell's nonprofit. And we just opened our first school this year. And I'm just like, gosh, I don't know about working in education. My whole family comes from education, but I'm able to use my skills and talents from media, being able to manage local and national partnerships, being able to do our socials and our communications, and realizing that you can use your talents in more than one field. So not limiting yourself to just one small thing, but opening yourself to other opportunities really changed my mindset and pushed that shift for me to continue and pursue my dreams.
Ooh, y'all. I sometimes get emotional talking about my stuff because, but so I actually never planned on or wanted to be a business owner. It was never my plan. My plan was to have a good job, have my own car, have my own place, apartment. I didn't even see myself like having a house. I'm like, I just want to have a comfortable life, take care of my daughter. That's all I wanted. I didn't think further than that. So my main goal was to finish dental assistant school. I never like went to a big college or anything. I just did a 2-year program, and I just wanted to have a good job. So I got a good job. I was making $24 an hour. I thought I was making money. After I paid my bills, I had enough to get my hair and nails done. I was cool with that. So I started doing, so one of my patients at Cool Smiles was like, when I get my braces off, I'm gonna get some diamonds on my teeth. I'm like, who out here doing that? They was like, I gotta go to Atlanta to get it done. So I'm like, I could use the same bracket glue we're using for the braces and put the diamonds on people's teeth. So I'm doing that in my living room, and it blew up. Like, everybody was trying to come get the teeth gems done. So then people are like, do you do teeth whitening too? I'm like, no, this is not a business. This is just a little side hustle. But everyone was asking, so I bought me a teeth whitening machine, and it just blew up. Every day after work, I'm booked up for the services. So then I get me a little suite. Mind you, I'm still working full time. I'm hiding in the bathroom at work, responding to customers. You know, they trying to come in. So I'm getting rolled up at work, getting in trouble for always being on my phone. So my manager came to me and was like, Essence, why don't you just do your business full time? I'm like, no, what if I'm like, oh, that's my friend, hey. So my manager's like, why don't you do your business full time? And I'm like, no, because what if I don't have any customers this week? Mind you, I'm fully booked, but I'm just scared, you know, to take that leap of faith. So I cried to my manager, like, I don't want to leave my job, because I really loved my job. But I'm like, it just makes sense to leave and, you know, pursue my business full time. So I was appointment only, having that little suite that I had, and I was noticing everyone wanted to come. So I'm like, okay, now I got to get a store, because I'm limiting myself on the amount of customers I can get. So then when I got my storefront location, that's when I end up getting an employee. And I'm like, dang, I done went from working a 9 to 5 to completely running a company. I'm like, oh my goodness, I just never imagined being where I'm at. So I actually didn't want to leave my job, you know, but it's like God put me in the dental field for me to take it a whole nother direction. And me selling the grills, to piggyback off what you said about supporting yourself, my family was telling me, like, you shouldn't sell grills because it's going to attract the wrong kind of people, because a lot of the people who wear grills is in the urban community. So they're like, you shouldn't do that. It's going to attract the wrong kind of people. But those same people, you know, now I'm making 6 figures. So yeah, I can't believe it. I'm here.
How I made my transition into entrepreneurship, I would say it was the opportunity to work for another entrepreneur. I became the assistant to a sales representative for the clothing company Aku. And not only working for an entrepreneur, but somebody who I can identify with, somebody who is Black, somebody who I would watch on a day-to-day, make their own schedule, decide how they were going to get their work done, fly out, book your own appointments, hotels, curate a whole trade show, all within what you want, and see it be successful. So I continued to work for him, and, you know, sales go up and down and different things happen. And when I started working less hours, I've always been a server too. I've worked in the service industry. So when I was serving, I guess also I'm more so of an independent person. Single mother, single father, so I'm very independent. I want to be able to do exactly what I want. I don't want to feel constrained. So once I experienced what that was like to not have a manager over my head or micromanaging me, giving me time and space and opportunity to help them out or prove myself that I can make their life easier, I was addicted to it. So from there, I was in a place where I was like on 18 different legs pretty much, just trying to make enough money to make it. And I thought of the idea to throw an event. There were events that were happening in the area. I saw things that I might do a little bit differently. And I've always been very creative. So I created the concept of a day party called Simmer Down. And I just wanted there to be more of a positive vibe and energy. So from there, connecting it to a charitable cause, we did a raffle for a young boy who had various illnesses. And during the raffle, we were able to raise $1,000 for the boy. And the feeling that everybody got from it, and even me, myself, I got so emotional about it because it was so easy to make such a big change to those around me and give other people that feeling, because, you know, you might see somebody who's asking for money, or, you know, and you might have your thoughts or feelings about what they're going to do with it or whatever, but giving people an opportunity to give and feel that gratification after it, that along with me being gratified for creating space for people to have fun. So definitely having an entrepreneur and to learn after and grow from, and take the time to teach me definitely helped me a lot, that I never wanted to go back to working for anybody else.
So I'm a recovering entrepreneur. I ran 2 small companies, and then came back to Virginia, and have been a community volunteer, activist, etc., and got back involved in politics in 2008 when I started knocking doors for Barack Obama, and was just so inspired by him, like all of us were. And then continued to help with other campaigns, etc., and various activities. And I was involved with a group called Better Together Norfolk, with the Norfolk Federation of Teachers and the NAACP and the Association of PTAs, basically arguing with the city council about what we were going to do with our elected school board. And I went to a city council meeting, and I had 1,600 petition signatures to deliver to the mayor and the city council. And I was told to sit down 3 times by the mayor. And I went home that night and told my husband I'm running for the city council seat. So that is what happened with me. You know, at some point you realize you need to be sitting at the table. And I didn't see somebody sitting at the table who was willing to step up and to say no, who was willing to take the hard vote every once in a while. I'm not always the contrarian, but they also know that they can't necessarily just depend on me all the time, because I try and be a thought leader. So for me, it was scary. It was exhilarating. I ran against a 16-year incumbent who hadn't done anything wrong. He just hadn't done anything. And everybody told me to wait my turn and that there was no way in hell I would win. And I beat him in 19 of 23 precincts on election night. Thank you. And I don't take my job lightly. You know, I think to what you were saying and so many others, I mean, the work that I do, yes, it's creating the budget and it's, you know, a bunch of other big things, ribbon cuttings, blah, blah, blah. It's the little stuff that nobody sees. It's the teacher that called me a couple summers ago and said, I can't pay my energy bill. I don't know what to do. Can you help? And I had the contact at Dominion Energy who helped work out a payment plan. It's the person that I'd worked with at Stop Inc. who was about to lose her home, and I was able to help her get into a solid place. It's those things that nobody sees, that when you're in a position of power, that you've got to use it, that you've got to take those contacts and you've got to connect the dots. Not because it's going to be a headline in a newspaper, because it's just helping somebody. And that's what gratifies me so much. And being an elected official nowadays, in case you haven't noticed, people don't like us a whole lot. We get yelled at a lot. Everybody thinks we're on the take, that we're all bribed, that we're all part of the swamp. Let me tell you, I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for the gratification. I do it really because I want to help people, and I love it. I love every bit of it, even some of the crappy parts of it. So I'm really fortunate to be here, and I'm also trying to help others who want to run for office. I'm looking out here. We need to have a bench. Get involved in your civic leagues. Apply for a board or commission. You know, come help somebody on their campaign. We need good folks in elected office at the local level, the state level, and the federal level. And so you all, by being here and by being engaged, I bet we have some future elected officials right here in this audience or up on this panel. Hello, ladies. So anyway, for me, my aha moment was when somebody told me to sit down.
So I actually have a question for you, Tamiya, since we came all the way around. Especially you being a woman in a male-dominated kind of area, being a longshoreman. Can you just talk about like any resistance that you experience while kind of working in that in that area, and how do you navigate it and show up as your empowered self?
I love you, ILA. But honestly, so my father is a longshoreman. My father's been a longshoreman for 40-something years now. When my father first called me, I remember being in the bed, and when he called me to go to work, his thing was, you're going to work to make the same check as everybody else, so don't embarrass me. I was 21. I didn't understand at the time, you know, like, what do you mean? But, you know, when you get out there with men, they're going to push those buttons because you're a woman and so forth. They don't think that men, I love you guys. I'm answering the question. But, you know, they don't always think that you can do what they can do. But what they do not understand is that you need a woman. That's just point blank, period. We do things the way we do things. We organize the way we organize. We do our job. We understand what our job is, and we're gonna get it done. I understand that I'm not there to date. I understand that I'm not there for you to sleep with me. I understand that I'm not there for you to feel like you could do the job better than me. I'm just here to do the job. Let me get this job done. I'm a single mother. You know, my son was young at the time. Let me get this check every Thursday so I can go pay my bills and go live the way I want to live and take the vacations I want to take. So, you know, as long as you set in your mind, that's a man or woman. Go to work. Whatever you're doing, your job, your business, just go to work. Stop being worried about all the extra, who's doing this, who's the boss, who's that. Do what you have to do. And that's what I believe in, even with my construction business. Another situation, me waking up like, oh, I want to do construction. Being Tamiya, and I stepped out on faith and I did it. And that's a man-dominated world. So I had to hire men. I had to hire a contractor. I had to hire somebody that was going to be my framer. I had to hire a lawyer so that my paperwork is done right. And then when you work with men, you know, I had to go through a couple contractors because they don't like for me to tell them what to do. But it's my money. I'm spending my money. So as long as y'all understand, just look, pour into yourself. If it's your business, you better do it like you don't believe. You better do it. Don't care what nobody say. Do not care about how other people feel. Because at the end of the day, if it falls on you, it falls on you. Just like I just told y'all, that concert I just did over there. Another male-dominated situation, for real. Naya does it. Naya know I'll call her quick as soon as she doing a show. Baby girl, what you need, let me know, call me. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're having fun. Well, excuse me. Everybody else over there was having fun on March 5th with that concert. I did not have fun. I was stressed out. I flew back in town. Longshoremen sent me out of town for a conference, a women's conference in Florida. I flew back in at 11:30, y'all. When I got back in town, I could not find a truck for Jeezy, y'all. I had reserved 2 trucks. Both the trucks I only got 1 truck. The other truck was not available. I'm telling y'all this story for a reason, because this is boss mentality at this point. No truck is available. Jeezy team get off the airplane at 1:30. Jeezy comes in at 8 o'clock. At this point, I don't have a truck. I got to get over to the Nova. I got to make sure the money is right. I got to make sure everything is flowing right, because this is what I just tell y'all. It goes under your name at the end of the day, right? But everybody got something to say. But when it falls on your name, at the end of the day, it's you, right? Okay. So I had to figure it out. What I start doing, I start hustling up. I start calling all my friends that got a black truck. I might need to borrow your truck. I might need to borrow your truck. And it has to be a newer truck, because y'all know if Jeezy get there and I got him in a 96, he gonna be like, ooh, I'm getting back on the plane. So now I'm in hustle mode. I'm in thought. But this is what we do as entrepreneurs, and as we run a business, you have to figure it out at that point. You have to be a thinker. So what did I do? I ended up calling one of my friends. She was like, oh, I have this guy. He has a company. They drive people. They chauffeur people. Y'all, Jeezy got off the plane at 8:20. I did not have him a vehicle until 7:15. 7:15. The guy told me how much he charged. I'm like, okay, word. I need it. You have to make this thing work. To the point they wasn't even gonna open the Norfolk door. They wasn't even, I'm just telling y'all these stories, the behind scenes that people don't see. Everybody else is there having parties, they drinking, they smoking, they having a ball. I'm thinking like, I got $80,000 on this plate right here. I gotta get my money. So you gotta go into straight survival mode. So the bottom line is, y'all, when you are a boss, when you are building an entrepreneurship, when you building a business, when you working for somebody, whatever it is, just do it. Stop thinking about it. Your credit never gonna be right. Okay? Your credit score is never gonna be what you want it to be. Y'all want me to keep it real or no? All right? You never gonna save enough money. You never gonna have enough money. Cut it out. You ain't gonna get the support that you want. Get over it. Just do it. It's not gonna be your friends. Your friends not gonna support you like that. Let's keep it G. They not. Your family ain't gonna be the ones that's gonna buy it all the time. You gotta go out here just like these people in the middle of this place, of this Selden place right now, and you gotta get the people that want your product. You got to get the people that want your product. I didn't know all those people that came to the show. I don't know those 1,600 people. I don't know. It don't matter. I knew when I chose the artist that I wanted to bring, I knew that I wanted it to sell out. And I know Mr. Jeezy is Mr. City, bring it out. So you feel me? So when y'all getting y'all entrepreneurship, just like Essence said, she knew they wanted them teeth. They wanted the jewels on their teeth. Y'all, just do it. Stop beating yourself up in the head. Stop telling yourself that you're not good enough. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. Yes, you are. You are ready. I promise, y'all. I be stepping out on some, let me try this. But it worked because God got me. If he got me, who else do you need at that point? You feel me? And one thing before I pass this mic, get a notebook and pen. Get off the phone. Go back old school. A notebook and pen get you right. Because guess what? After you write it down, all your ideas, months later, years later, you get to go back and see what you manifested. And that's how you really believe in yourself. You be like, I did that? Yeah, you did that. You did that. Just remember that. Pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself you pretty. Tell yourself you look good. That's how you win. That's how you win. Y'all feel me? Or no?
Okay.
I said bird.
I was actually going to say this. I had the same question for you, Jalen, working as a woman in sports.
Let me just tell you, okay? If I had $1 for every time I was asked if I was the girlfriend or the wife or the groupie, we could all go on a 5-star vacation together. We would be on the island right now. And I want to start by saying I love men. All of my mentors are men. So I have nothing against men. They are the greatest. But in working in sports, I've worked with Super Bowl champions, all-star athletes, World Series athletes. It doesn't matter. I have always showed up and done the work. I've always stayed up late, studied. I know exactly what they know, if not more. And I'm not afraid to challenge that. And I think, obviously, when you walk up to a person, the first thing you see is their physical. And that's okay. But when you ask me a question about who was the first picked in the draft in 2015 or how many bases did somebody steal, I know the answer. And I'm not afraid to tell you. So I think it's so important to work hard. Like, people really underestimate working hard. And I write down everything. I mean, I have 4 different planners, shared calendars with my clients, but writing down everything is so important. And you do get to look back and see where you are, but sometimes you need those men who once thought you were the girlfriend to give you that stamp of credibility to the next man who says, oh, hey, I have an all-star client for you. Do you think you can help? And that's why on Today, I'm a black woman representing the first black woman official in the National Football League.
Okay, so Stephanie, being one of the media queens that we have around here, if you don't mind, like, what are some of the dangerous traits and behaviors that you've seen derail women leaders in their careers, and how would you advise them against them?
How much time we got? No, I think, gosh, some of the dangerous traits is that, and I think this is probably for everybody, it's like we get caught in that comparison trap. And I think specifically in the world of media, like Jalen said, everything is based on literally your appearance. Their first step is your appearance, because if you're going to be on TV or you're going to do, now everything podcast is all videotaped, it's your appearance. And so sometimes if you don't fit the mold of what's already out there, especially compared to social media, you feel like you are not, you're not adequate enough to even occupy that space. And I know that's a question about like imposter syndrome and all that stuff, but I think not having enough people in your corner to cheer you on as another woman, because everybody's looking at competition, and especially in that media world and that television, because these top spots that are there, it's like only one person can occupy that at the right time. There's only one Oprah, y'all. Like, there's only one Oprah. But it's not to say that other people can't come behind you, but there's other women who are in place right now, and I've just seen it more lately, which is a good thing, that a lot of women are pulling other women up, because you can't be Oprah forever. You can't be whomever forever. Like, you have to make that space for those who are coming behind you. And so I think it's a gift and a curse in being in that space and knowing that there are women who see you as competition, but then there are women who are rooting for you and cheering you on. In terms of the next part was what, the leadership style?
Oh, well, like, how would you advise them if they're having like these kind of dangerous behaviors or traits? Like, they're comparing them. Like, what would you tell them?
I think honestly, just continue to bet on yourself. I mean, like Tamiya said, bet on yourself. There is enough space for all of us, and only you can do what you do. And to me, somebody asked me this question the other week when I was on a panel, and how do you get the courage to bet on yourself? And I think betting on yourself has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with all the generations that are attached coming behind you. And so when you bet on yourself, it's not, don't look at it as this all about me. I'm trying to get to where I'm going because I want to be, on my 5-star vacation. I want to be, out here stunting for the gram. It's about everybody else who is coming behind you. And so I think that's the advice I would give to anybody, is continuously bet on yourself. Do it scared, do it afraid, do it broke, do it rich, do it whenever, but have that support system around to continue to build you up while you're doing it for yourself and for those generations that are attached to you.
Any ladies have? Yeah. Give her a round of applause. Any ladies want to add on or answer the question?
I would say something that's very important to me, and I speak on it a lot, is don't underestimate the power of the influence around you and the things that you are taking in on an everyday basis, whether it be the people you're talking to, the places you go, who you associate with, the internet, because it will really have you feeling down bad, like there isn't space for you. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is tune into what everybody else is doing, you will be lost without a guide of where you want to go. So I definitely advise young women to zoom out, clock out, sign out. It is so important. So you can come home and remember who you are and what you really want for yourself, and then be intentional throughout the day. And then also reflect on why you might be feeling the way that you're feeling. Did you get enough sleep last night? Did you get enough sleep the night before? Did you cry all day the day before that? Possibility is you're just tired. And when you do take on your own ventures, it's a lot to just be a human. It is a lot. is a lot going on right now. And whether you have a 9 to 5, you have a child, you have friends, family to support, you're taking on more tasks when you're building your business. So it's undeniable, it's a lot that you have going on. So the only way for us to combat that is to create time for self. It has to happen.
I just have one word. Learn how to say no. Somebody said I had raising hand syndrome. I'll do it. I wanted to be the go-to person, which is great, but then all of a sudden you can't do it for everybody. And so you've got to learn to say no, because when you say no to somebody, that means you're saying yes, and you're going to do a better job with your kids, or you're going to do a better job at your main job. But that is a lesson I struggle with. But I think no is such an important part of our vocabulary. And as women, we do not say no enough.
We don't. That's very, very true. Good.
I just think that probably the most dangerous behavior trait or trait that I've seen is unoriginality. Like, be yourself, be authentic. I think that, people say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but if I'm copying off of what Stephanie's doing and Stephanie's copying off of what anybody else is doing, somebody's not being real here. And people can see, experts in their field, industry leaders, veterans, they can see through inauthenticity. So you're not going to make it but so far. And it's okay to think that you're not there yet, but make it your own. That's like probably the most important thing that I've seen.
Can I just jump off of that on the behavior part? I think one of the things that hinder a lot of business owners when it comes to the behavior is not giving information, okay? Not giving information, not helping, giving back. I believe that we all was once a student. Once we become a teacher, just teach. So when we get to a certain level in business, we forget where we started or how we started and where we came from. So it's very important that once you get to that level, that you give the information. How else are you able to build generational wealth? How else are you able to show or teach the next entrepreneur? So it's about really just kind of giving the information, supporting one another, be able to let each other know that we can build, because at the end of the day, when I do what I do, my job is to build more leaders.
And really quick, get off the no new friends. That's a lie. All my friends new. Because if you don't meet a new friend, let me tell you, as a kid, your parents move you in your neighborhood. You don't have a choice but to be friends with your neighborhood kids. But when you become an adult, you choose where you live. So that means you get to choose your friends. And if you choose people that are doing what you want to do, if you choose to be around people that are doing better than you're doing in your quote-unquote eyes, because trust me, they got drama too, they got issues too, trust and believe. But if you surround yourself around the people that are doing the things that you want to do, and you surround yourself around people that are positive and people that will keep it real with you. I don't like the way you looking today. Like, what's wrong with you? And you might be like, Dad, girl, I was crying all night. How can you tell? If you don't surround yourself around those people, you're not getting to the next level. I'm going to be honest with you. Your old friend's not getting you there. That's why you're still in the situation you're in now. They don't know how. So how the heck do they supposed to rub off on you? It don't work like that. Surround yourself around those people. I just said to Essence, like, girl, I just see you at the last thing we spoke at. So now I'm like, I'm about to look into her a little bit more. Like, why we keep being on the same panel? We might be doing the same thing. Let's get it together. I got some money, you got some. We'll be popping. Because you have to surround yourself around people that are trying to motivate you and invest in you. You might got an investor sitting right beside you. Listen, I got an idea. You said you got a TV show. I got this idea. Da-da-da. I might got the money. She might got the thought. But you got to be around people that are going to believe in what you're talking about, people that's doing what you're trying to do, because that's how you're going to learn. You understand? Like, surround yourself around all y'all back there, everybody. Surround yourself around people that are trying to do either what you're doing or you're trying to get to where they're getting, because somebody's going to tell you the tea. Somebody's going to give it to you. Me, I don't care about giving the tea because you can't do what I do. My name is Tamiya Davis. I don't have your name. God gave me what he gave me. So I don't mind pouring what I know into her, or into her, or into her, or into him. You know, I don't mind doing that because at the end of the day, what's for me is for me. This is my destiny. You feel me? So surround yourself around good people. Don't believe in that no new friends. That's a lie. Get around some new people.
Right.
The people you around now, you ain't getting it with them.
No, that's real. That's real. So, like, on the topic of just surrounding yourself with the right people, building and breaking generational curses, as leaders in your respective fields, how are y'all staying mindful of who you have sitting at the table and then who's missing?
Such a good question. For me, I try and really encourage like informational interviews, internships. I try and make sure that people know that I'm available, office hours to come in, because I'm at that point. I think Jemilyn said it so well, where it's my turn to reach back and make sure that I've got that next generation coming up, that I'm connecting the dots, and that I'm helping folks find the resources. So I think that's really, really important. Some of you ladies, you're on the other end. So call me up and let me know how I can help connect the dots for you. I think that's really, really critical. The other thing is we have to be intentional. You just can't do the things you've always done. We've got to make sure that we put ourselves in spaces and places where it's not, everybody doesn't look like me, right? And I've got to be actively listening and realizing that I got a lot to learn. And so I think we all do that. And I mean, in the city of Norfolk, we have I'm happy to co-chair with Councilwoman Danica Roycer, who, if you don't know her, she's a badass. She is my council colleague at Super Ward 7, and we co-chair the Mayor's Commission on Social Equity and Economic Opportunity. And we're trying to dig into some of those major, major issues. But you have to be willing to ask the hard questions and meet your new friends. So that's just my thoughts.
Anybody else?
Create your table. Create your table. I mean, it's not too much more to say about that. I mean, look at Naya. Look at EDL. She created her table. And now, we pour it into her and she's pouring into us. Like, if you create your table, you know who's sitting there. And you know who to ask them, can you get up? I need this seat for somebody else. Don't be afraid. I promise y'all, don't be afraid. Like, creating your table will change your life. It really will. Do not forget that I just told you, your boss will never pay you to live in his neighborhood. So create your own table.
Awesome.
And can I just say, attitude. Okay, attitude plays a big role too in what we do. I remember telling somebody that the same attitude that you have when you got your business license, when you got that LLC, when you got that building, you was all happy, is the same attitude you need to have when things go wrong. Okay, we forget that there's the bad side of the business. We focus too much on being happy about the business and, excited about everything that's going to happen, and we can see that vision, but you also need to understand that there's another vision. There's a vision of things going wrong. I keep it very simple. I don't look, me personally, I try not to focus on the bad. If it happens, my worry is just fixing it. I don't put a lot of energy into the negatives, okay? Because do understand that our negatives is our positives. Our bad days is our good days. So when we have those days, we still have to uplift ourselves. We still have to keep moving and understand that things are gonna happen. So I try not to put too much energy on when things are going wrong. My job is just to fix it. We gotta have patience. A lot of people don't have patience these days. I had somebody that came to me and said, does it really take 2 to 3 years to see your money? Well, you about 30? So you was broke for 30 years. What was another 2-3 years gonna do? Okay, so understand that it does take time simply because you are going through the process. Okay, there's a process that's involved. It's not just going from CEO or an employee to CEO. There's a process that you have to go through, okay? And definitely change your mindset, okay? Mindset is everything when you're running a business, okay? Trust me, if we can be a professional being broke, we can be a professional being rich, because I was a professional at being broke. I was the chick that took the electricity bill money and bought them Louis Vuitton shoes. Okay? But that's the attitude that we got to kill. We got to be able to understand that we can't do certain things that we did as just regular employee or regular person and turn around and open a business and still have that same mindset. Okay? So we do have to change our mindset, stop hustling backwards. Okay, go through the proper channels to make sure that if you're running a business, opening a business, that you get your license. Get your EIN numbers. There's a process you got to go through. It doesn't matter how good you are. Don't matter if you could do hair and you want to open a salon, but you decided to go and forget all the middle part. Go through the process of getting the license, getting your EIN number, opening that account up, and so because a lot of things, we want to do a lot of things in the business, but we're too busy jumping hoops, okay? So understand that there is a process when you go into business, and just go through the right process.
Jasmine?
Yes. Very quickly, just want to say it's really the change of your mindset and your attitude to just being open to what anybody can teach you. If you have a feeling like walking through Selden Market, oh, I feel like I should say something to this person, say it. Speak to people. I was not taught to speak to my neighbors, speak to people that I see, and that holds you back, because who am I to say that they can't teach me something, anything? So just being aware, changing your attitude, your mindset to what others can teach you, anybody that you see.
I think, sorry, I just want to add really quick. When we talk about building and setting these tables, I think there's 3 different components. I think you're setting the table, you're leading the table, or you're an attendee at the table. And I think if you're setting the table, don't forget about the small people and the people who might be underlooked in your area. And that kind of goes back to what I say, and don't wait till people get the big name, because then they're going to be building their own table once they make it, I'll tell you that. But if you're setting that table, don't forget about who's coming up and who people are connected to. If you're leading the table, make sure you are acknowledging everybody at that table and giving everybody that space to be able to connect and communicate. And if you're an attendee at that table, you need to be building the relationships. Real people forget about just real connections with people. And I think there's a difference in finding opportunity and being opportunistic. There's 2 different things. And so you can find opportunity in situations and be able to build real relationships. But if you're opportunistic, you're just calling somebody when you need something. Don't call me when you need something. Don't call me when information comes out and you want tickets to something. Build real relationships with people if you're an attendee at that table. But also if you're setting that table, make sure you're pointing to the right people to be able to bring together to build something even greater.
You got something to say?
I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what you said. You're so right. I literally yesterday called Votech so I could get one of their dental students to maybe come and learn everything that I do at my store, because with me being at this Richmond store, I'm going to need somebody to run my Norfolk store. So I'm like, let me get one of these young girls, train them up and get them where I need them to be so they can completely run my store and then maybe become their own boss one day. And we're in a time right now where it's like everybody wants to be the boss, but they don't want to take the time to learn, and then become the boss, So I feel like sometimes you got to take a step back and be willing to learn, and like you said, be teachable and be open to learn new things so you can run your own thing. You can't just jump in and, you might fall flat on your face. So you got to be teachable,
So have any of you dealt with imposter syndrome or the superwoman syndrome? And if so, how did you navigate yourself through it? That part, right?
Oh, yes. I was speaking earlier this week on a panel, and this question came up, and I said that in my business, I don't suffer from imposter syndrome at all, because I'm the boss. I know exactly what I'm doing. I set the expectation. I know what I'm going to get with cause and effect. But in corporate, absolutely. I got a phone call from the senior executive vice president, and that you're thinking, what did I do? Because the senior executive vice president is not calling for anything good. And she said, "Hi, Jalen, I just want to tell you that we've noticed that your work has been, published nationally, and you're doing all these great things, and we want to award you with a monetary incentive." And instead of being like, yes, I was like, are you sure? I immediately started questioning, Why me? And I shouldn't, because I show up, I work hard. Absolutely, I deserve that bonus. Are you kidding me? So I quickly had to identify that behavior in myself and say, no, I'm going to have a productive and constructive day. I'm going to be, positive. Those saying those affirmations in the mirror, writing things down on Post-it notes, it really, really works. That's how I combat it, is just catching yourself immediately and turning it around into a positive, and you would be amazed at the result.
Know you. I mean, I'm a procrastinator. Procrastinators don't run business. They talk about their businesses. So know you, because you are going to be the example of how you're going to set your future. So like with me, procrastination, I do write my stuff down daily. Okay, if I set goals, yearly goals, it's not going to happen. Okay, so I do set I set daily, monthly, weekly goals, because that helps me in my business. So understand you're going to be the one to be able to know how far you get. So if there's certain things about you, you'll be able to know how you need to decide on how you need to run your business. So definitely understand you. And clock out. Clock in and clock out. Let me tell you the beauty about business. We get to clock in and clock out on our own time clock. Okay? So that's the beauty. You got, as an employee, I had to report to work. When I'm not feeling well, I had to call in and let people know I'm not feeling well. When you run your own business, you determine whether you want to come in or not. Okay? So that's the beauty about the business. So when you got them days where you just tired, clock out. Okay, clock out. So there's a lot of benefits about running a business and being an employee. Just know what you can handle. I mean, somebody asked me one day, was running a business hard? Yes, but being broke was harder. So guess what? I learned that business quick. Okay, because it was very hard when you run around here and your house about to go to foreclose, or you had to pay back somebody $20 that you owed, or your lights getting ready to get turned off. So what's hard to you? So know you, understand your process, okay? Know what's hard for you.
Anybody else want to add on how they are staying grounded, how you're taking care of yourself as, a woman in business, a woman in politics, or just all around just a leader, period?
Along with what she just said, writing things down is so important, because there's so much that needs to be done. There's a million things that we want to do. And being able to feel like we can clock out, if you can look at what you've done, I can rest and be like, okay, you really did do a lot today. You can go home. And essential to start your day with you. Writing, free writing, journaling, praying, taking that time out. You're about to give how many hours to the world? Right. You have to set your foundation for the day. That is essential.
Prayer works for me. It really does. And taking time to myself. A couple days ago, I was feeling so super stressed out. I was like, what am I doing? I think Jasmine just asked me, she was like, well, how do you be finding this land that you buy? And, isn't it oversaturated? And I was telling her, like, yeah, it really is. Because right now I'm looking at this apartment building, and it's kind of stressing me out, the fear of jumping out there. So I got up, I checked that flight, and the next morning, 5 a.m., I was on a flight. I went to Miami. I text Naya. I said, Naya, I'll be back right before your trip. Don't worry, I'll be here. Sometimes you just got to take a break. You have to say, no, this is it. I need a break, because mental health is serious. We have people jumping off buildings, apartment buildings, and they're looking at them like, they got everything. They're beautiful. She works for the new, why would she do that? Mental health is serious. You got to take care of yourself. And sometimes you got to sit back and ask yourself, what can I do better? What can I do different? Because it's not always the other person. You can't keep pointing the finger. Running a business, in a relationship, whatever it is, you can't always point the finger. Sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, what can I do different? I want to give you all these couple questions, though, before we ask yourself this. Am I maintaining emotional intelligence enough with myself? You have to run the intelligence with yourself. If you lie to yourself, all you're doing is hurting yourself. Be truthful to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Is this business working for me? Is this job working for me? Is this relationship working for me? Is this friendship working for me? Am I working for myself? You got to be honest with yourself. Another question is, am I communicating as clearly and concisely as I think? When you're running a business, you have to communicate. You have to talk. You have to talk it out. You got to read again. You got to keep educating yourself. You have to, like I said, continue to surround yourself around people because everything evolves, so you got to keep it moving. One more question. Am I getting stressed out over things I can't control? That's the power of stress. That's the power of people saying, how old are you? I'd be like 43. I'm happy to be my age. 43, have a son that's 25. He's a college graduate as well. I'm proud to be my age because I understand that I can't control everything. And when you can't control it, you gotta let your hands up off of it. You like, God, you said I was your child. What you gonna do? You know, you have to do that with every situation, y'all. So ask yourself those kind of questions and take a break. Sometimes you just got to take a break. I don't feel like doing social media. I don't feel like being cool. I don't feel like looking fly. I don't feel like, I want to eat some ice cream. I want to do what the heck I want to do today. I want to like a bum. I want to sit on my couch with my underwear on. So what? Do what you want to do. Take a moment, but then don't forget, get back to it. Because 30 days come fast. Y'all know what happened in 30 days, don't y'all? Y'all better pay them bills. You got 5 extra days to the 5th to get it right. You feel me? So get to it. But take your break. Take your break.
I think with that too, being okay with missing out. I think I was just talking to Jimmy about this. We're so afraid to turn off and tune out because we feel like we're gonna miss something. Like, I love social media, but it is draining. Y'all feel drained by it? It's like your brain is on constant. And if you're in a field of like communications or you have a business, you feel like you have to be on it all the time. And if you don't, somebody else might get something before you, but that means it really wasn't even for you anyway. But be okay with shutting off and turning off and tuning out. I think that's so hard, and especially for me, I'm a mom as well. I have a 3-year-old, and 3 going on 35. I don't know what's going on with the age of 3. But and I find myself sometimes like I'm so consumed with what happened at work and what I need to do that I can't even focus on what she's doing or what she's needing because I'm so just consumed with everything. So when you say tune out and take that time to go on vacation or do whatever it is, really tune out and don't think about that stuff, or just know, okay, it'll be here in an hour. It'll be here in another 3 or 4 days. And that's because of like this superwoman syndrome is one of the reasons why I created one of my platforms. And you've been on my show. I have a platform called Before Brunch. And I called it that because I think about brunch is like our thing, right? We love a good brunch all day. Brunch end up till 6 p.m. But that's the time when we go and we celebrate and we have a good time. But what happens before then? What happens before we get there? How much trauma are we bringing to brunch? How many relationships are we just like dying in? How many times are we just like going through the motions of life? But we're showing up, putting on our faces, putting on our lashes, putting on our masks to be all happy in this space. And so I created that. And my tagline is women pouring into each other and then their glasses, because we have to fill each other up. Take care of that self-care item first before we can really be able to give to everybody else. And so this past week, I just launched an inspirational subscription box called Before Brunch, because sometimes we're looking on social for that perfect quote or for the perfect thing. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to be able to mail these quarterly out to women to find that inspiration so you can just grab it on your own and go through these months not feeling alone. And I think that superwoman syndrome, whether you have a family or not, it is heavy. And so just give yourself some grace through these times. And I think that would be my advice, and also a good glass of wine, seriously.
But I want 1 second to men, because I know we talking about the women, but I want to talk to y'all because y'all here. Take a break. It's heavy for y'all too. Like, I have a son, like I said, 25. Dating is crazy. He got to pay for his meal and her meal, and she got an attitude, her lashes hanging off. He be like, "Ma, you like?" I'm like, "No." What her family do? What? No, because I don't want no grandkids that I got to keep. I'm trying to go back out of town. You feel me? So, guys, take a break. Check into these women y'all dating. Social media is free. Google their name. You can Google my name. It's coming up. You feel me? I'm dead serious, men. I'm not just talking to the women. I had to say something to y'all. Take a break. Y'all got a lot on y'all backs. Y'all got to pay the bills, deal with the baby mama, doggone, like I said, paying for 2 dinners. Y'all paying $75 when y'all could have just went out by yourself. It could have been 2 for $20 at Applebee's, but you got to show off for her. You know what I'm saying? Take a moment. For real, everybody, y'all take a break. I swear to God, y'all. I'm putting this mic down. But please, everybody, take a break. Because life is crazy. We wearing masks. We can't communicate. I can't touch her. I'm like, look, earlier today I was coughing. I had to tell them both, I'm like, look, I ate breakfast this morning. I swallowed my food wrong. If I cough, I don't have COVID. You know, like, life is too heavy. Take a moment, y'all. Take a moment.
All right. She said take a moment, okay?
Ooh, piggybacking very quickly on what she said, I think
Okay.
we should all take a moment at my studio right across the street, right after I have plenty of wine, okay?
Plug it.
All right?
No, seriously, I'll be there. So real quick, so we're gonna wrap it up. What advice would all of you give women looking to grow in either their own business or within their companies that they work for? So anybody can start.
Just do it. Stop thinking about it. Y'all, I'm very authentic. I'm into myself. Like, I'm being honest with y'all. Just do it. If you wrote it down, if you thought about it, it's only $100 to get you a business name. The EIN is free, but my company charge you $500. So if you want to look me up, find me on Instagram. My company does charge $500, and I'll set the whole thing up for you. You get a logo and everything. It's all about business. But if you could do it for yourself, it's called the SCC VA. Just do it. What you scared for? What? Oh, you gonna fail? You never did that before? I cheated in high school. It's all good. It's okay. If you fail, it's okay. Like I had Why Not Autumn. I had C&T Shoe Bar. I had all my different businesses. It doesn't matter. The names is gone. It's okay. I did it. But guess what? It's everything else is working. Just believe in yourself and just do it. Trust yourself. It's okay. I promise you. It's okay. And it's one person that you're gonna meet that's gonna change your life. Because even if they buy one item, it changed your life because then you believed in your dream. But even if they open up that door, and like Essence said, and now make it 6 figures because she just opened up that door, that's it. Just try it. Try it. Just try it. And then look me up, hit me up in DMs, and let me know y'all was successful.
I want to say to create the lifestyle that you want. You do not have to live the lifestyle that you're living right now forever. If you want a different lifestyle, if you want a newer car, if you want to live in a big old house, you deserve that because that's what you want. I never thought that big of myself. I didn't think I could have all the things that I have. I didn't think that I could get a massage every week if I want to. I can keep my nails done. I can go on trips. I thought that was, what rich people do, right? But right, older people do. But that's not true. If you don't want to live the lifestyle that you're living, do something to change it because you deserve it. And society, I feel like it makes you feel like you're bougie if you want to do all those things. If you want to go on trips all the time and just pamper yourself, but you deserve to live a luxurious lifestyle if that's what you want. So go after it.
Leave the worry out the window. I know that all of us have at least one thing we're worried about right now, and there's going to be something tomorrow that you can be worried about then. There's always going to be critics without credentials telling you what you should be doing. Leave the worry out the window and trust God and trust yourself.
I would say stop running from your passion and your calling. You know what it is. And the longer you keep running, you're going to be upset when you keep seeing the next person popping up doing what you think you should be doing. Stop running from your calling and your purpose. The last thing I would say is make sure you look good on the inside too.
I just want to first of all say thank you for the opportunity to be here with you guys today. This was a gift to me. It is my birthday, and I feel so inspired, and I feel like my soul has been fed. So I really appreciate you ladies. Along those lines, though, be opportunistic. Keep your eyes open. Things are going to happen that God put them in front of you for a reason. You just have to be ready to grab it. And so if there's anybody who is interested in politics, I'd be happy to talk to you, be happy to chat with you about your dreams. I'm going to come volunteer. I just announced my campaign for Virginia Senate this week. You can go to AndreaForSenate.com. Yeah. I'm not running against Aaron Rouse. He and I are both running for brand new Senate districts. So check out Aaron Rouse for Senate too, because he's amazing as well. But I hope you all continue to. We all need to make the world a better place, and you're here because you want to as well. And I'm really inspired by each and every one of you women. So thank you for the opportunity.
Take that chance. Everybody's sitting here waiting for that sign, that confirmation. Your confirmation is when you spoke it, that was the sign. So take the chance. Know who's in charge. Always put God first. Believe in yourself. And everything will fall in place. It's never easy running and doing what we do. But with, believe in yourself, and it'll get a lot easier.
Awesome. Go ahead.
Let the filter go. I had to say that, y'all, because y'all all so young. I feel like I'm looking at my son and them out there, y'all. Let the filter go. Trust and believe. Before I take a selfie, I'm going to find the best filter to make this skin look good. So do not be competing with these people on social media. Don't do it. People put the filters on. Don't compete with them. Compete with the person you look at every day in the mirror. That's your competition. That's your biggest competition, yourself. Because that filter is on a lot of people. That weed smoking, the drinking, it's cool if that's your leisure, but it doesn't suppress anything. It doesn't change anything. So at the end of the day, when you wake up in the morning, you still got to deal with you. Deal with you and do not compete with that filter. That filter will trick you every time. It'll have you thinking you are not worthy. And baby, you are. Everybody is worthy.
Well, that's awesome. Let's give these ladies a round of applause. I just want to say, I'm fangirling. I'm a fan of all of you, honestly. Some of y'all, I have been stalking y'all pages for months. I'm not even going to lie. Essence sitting over there. I'm like, oh, my God, y'all, she right there. It's a pleasure, and it's an honor. Thank you so much, Drew. Thank you so much, Naya and Selden Market, for having us today. I hope you guys enjoyed this second installment of Meeting of the Minds. Let's give them all a round of applause, everybody in the back who's doing their thing. Make sure that you guys go out and check out some of these really dope women pop-ups that we have out here. And make sure that you guys, network amongst each other. Introduce yourself to these ladies. They all have something to give. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a great one.
I was serious about you guys coming over to my studio. Free rent studios, got plenty of wine down. Hit me up. I'll give you the code to get in. Okay?